Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back out here again tonight to do another predictive, preemptive cryptocurrency video. And I'm sending you all love and high vibrations to wherever you are in the world. You know what we do. It's the Daily Candle Close News where we do things a little different over here. And definitely encourage you all to sit down, grab your favorite beverage and snack as we get ready to dive into the matrix tonight and talk about the winter solstice and the transition into Capricorn, Ouroboros and the circle of life, as well as pi 3.14, the ratio of a circle to its circle circumference to its diameter. So very important things. Seeing some bullish price action in the markets for Bitcoin, XRP, and some altcoins. Green all over the board, to be quite frank. And that's very exciting, but we're also aware of all the cautious parameters to, keep an eye on. And we'll go over some of those tonight. But you know what it is. We like to do things the esoteric way, using the signs of numerology and gematria to help us understand, so we can understand the world. Because, what we call this reality, this woke culture, is nothing more than a culturally sanctioned and linguistically reinforced hallucination. And I highly believe that, So wherever you are, get ready to dive into the matrix with us tonight as we have no idea where this episode will go. But definitely think it's going to be an explosive one. You guys got some things prepared for us that we're going to be talking about. It'll be my Circle of Life Part 2 video mixed in with everything, with all I'm getting, and we'll see how this goes. So I hope you all enjoy. And we'll sit back and we'll get started. There's that bullish price action we see today on the winter solstice, December 21st, 2021. Bitcoin hitting a high of $49,000. Very, very, very powerful. Got stopped out at the 382 of our dead cat bounce we have drawn. And we placed that at 60K and pulled it down. And we had a false breakout of that 382 today. Just waiting to see what happens. I made a comment in some videos and a post or two about the winter solstice being on the 22nd. Definitely see that I was wrong about that, and wanted to be transparent and mention that to you guys. But I found it interesting that it comes on the 21st this year, as we are in the 21st year of the 21st century. In the year of Saturn, and Saturn equals 21. So the winter solstice coming on the 21st, just very powerful connections that I wanted to bring up to everyone today. Also, we see that the winter solstice is the day that the sun dies, and we also see that Luna is hitting an all-time high. As we transitioned last night, I was able to give this to the pioneers in the group chat, this information that Luna was breaking the 4.236 of its Fibonacci pool from back in April and March. So very powerful to see the day that the sun dies. We see Luna hitting a new all-time high. Just very powerful. And I spoke about that on an update on my Facebook post for you guys. If it loads. And shared that with you all to be transparent last night, that I thought that was very interesting that we were seeing that happen on Monday, Moon Day, the day of the moon. Both Luna and the moon giving us that 15 as we entered yesterday, the start of the 51st week of the year. 51 being the mirror of that 15. So very powerful. We also saw XRP breaking out, and XRP equals 15 as well. So we'll be speaking about that number quite a lot tonight. So get ready to see that. So very powerful to see and make these connections. And you know, again, Luna being the moon, just very powerful esoteric knowledge that I think we can apply to you know, our skill that we're utilizing here and building. I definitely want to start this video out right here though. You know, with everything that we're getting in the code, just very powerful connections. Today being 3 months and 14 days since the start of Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish Hebrew New Year and the Shemitah that started on September 7th. So very powerful connection right here, this 314. We know that is pi. Again, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. A very, very important number sequence that we like to utilize and go over on our channel. Some mathematicians call it an infinite decimal. So that's where it gets that never-ending circle of pi. You know, when you hear it called that. So again, just a very important number sequence. We also have this date numerology today. When you type it out, 12/21/2021, giving us that 11. And again, we know that is very symbolic to Genesis 1:1, January 1st, New Year, tying us all into Giannis, the god of beginnings. Okay, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. So again, just very powerful as we approach January 1st. And you know, approach this date of 1/1. So awesome connection right here. Just a very master number, that 11. You know, Genesis again, verse 1, chapter 1. You know, the pillars of Solomon. You guys, just this beginning is a restart of the architect's game, which runs on an infinite loop. The Ouroboros. So very powerful, and we'll be speaking about that when we tie that into the circle of life. And you know, we show you how it's all tied in together, you guys, every single day. That's what we do on this channel. But it's a game we play, you know, called the game of life. But this being 15 weeks from the start of Rosh Hashanah, again, just getting that very powerful connection of the 15 in the 51st week of the year. And we know yesterday was Monday, Moon Day, and we got those connections in Moon giving us 15, Luna, which is the moon, giving us that same 15. And we see Terra Luna yesterday and today, back-to-back days hitting new all-time highs both days. So again, this looks, when we zoom out, a lot like a blow-off top coming in to me for Luna. And we need to pay attention if we hold Luna. So not financial advice, but just giving that information to all pioneers out there that you know, want to prepare themselves for, you know, well, we saw what Solana did when I first told you guys about the 4.236 that it reached out to. You know, we were able to see what Sheep did when it reached out to, well, crazy absurd 90 million% gains in a year. So just pay attention to these euphoric moments that I've prepared you guys for with some of these coins that you may hold. This being a very ritualistic time of the year that I've spoken about, again, not surprised to see on the winter solstice, Luna, the moon, hitting a new all-time high. So very powerful connections that I wanted you to be aware of. But 15 weeks, 0 days, again, that 15 that we've been talking about, just quite often, very powerful. The same 105 days giving us that same 15 today. And all of that is coming back to something which we will not mention on this channel, but being the 15th Greek letter in the Greek alphabet. Um, you know, enough said. You can see it all right here. This very powerful connections right here. Not only that, we know we've spoken on this channel about the devil being the 15th card in the tarot deck. Just powerful connections that I'll show you how that plays into effect here in a minute. And with some, date numerology that we're getting today. But yeah, just that powerful 15 in the 51st week of the year. Very powerful. These 15s have pretty much been the most significant number since the start of Sagittarius. As well as if we go back to April at the beginning of the year, we know that Bitcoin and all cryptos started breaking out into, new all-time highs, or, euphoria price movements into, what eventually was a new all-time high for most of them. In the 15th week of the year. So very powerful that we continue to make these connections around this 15 this year. Yeah. Today is also Tuesday, Martes, the day of Mars. And I'll show you really quickly in our decode. Today being Tuesday, Martes, the day of Mars, giving us that same 15 and 51 that we're getting. So again, in the 51st week of the year, just making these powerful connections, tying us all into the moon. 15 and 51, just very powerful. It all has to do with the 15s right now, I think. We know that. But we know today is actually, out of all days, was the day that the USA and, the baboon, the resident in the White House, was addressing the nation in which way we're going to go around all this. So, we were watching the markets for any potential volatile movement today for that. But yeah, today being the day of Mars, giving us that 51-15 in the 51st week of the year. It's all in the code, I do believe. And I'll continue to show you guys that tonight, I do hope. But we see that when we look at today's date and we added up 12 plus 21 plus 20 plus 21, it's giving us this 74. And that's very powerful. I mentioned earlier the architect and I spoke about Genesis. And well, we know that throughout this architect's Bible, we know that the most two powerful characters are Jesus, giving us that 74 and that 11 that we were getting today. So again, just very powerful connections today. And we also know the other one is Lucifer. Okay, giving us that same 74. We speak about this duality. And so I think it's important that we make these connections. Jesus and Lucifer both giving us this 74. And I think it's all about duality. Again, the 1-1, the 11 we're speaking about, because we got that today. And we see it right there when we also break down with alchemology, the mix of numerology and alchemy. We get that 11 when we break down both of these alchemies and these elements. When we break down both of these alchemical weights and these elements, is what I was trying to say right there. We get the 11, the opposing forces, all breaking down to, 47. And it's just very powerful. that we get this duality that I want to tie this to tonight. It's about the towers, the twin towers, the pillars of Solomon. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals the new person. It's all about duality, and we have that introduction of the third, being, I believe, the pineal gland, or the serpent. And I hope that makes sense for some of you. I really do. But 1 is that connection to source, and that 11 is that connection to a higher source. So those of you that are learning about life path and gematria and numerology, I hope you learn about that. The two main characters of this game that we're all dealing with is the dark side and the light side, the good and the evil. And that branches off into the red and the blue, the Republican and the Democrat, the black and the white, etc. But these two main characters today playing in through the code, just being pretty intriguing, and honestly just hilarious when you understand that. In my beliefs, I believe our creator is a comedian. But those of you that are into some of the master numbers, then you understand that we have Satan that gives us the 55, and Christ that gives us the 77. Oh wow, that both of them together give us the 42. You can't make that up. Anyways, giving us the 77. That 77 and 18 connection right there is classic, like I talked to you about, because being that infinite connection to source. But all of that 77 coming back to Judaism, with that 77, and this cult is all dealing with Saturn. And hopefully that's what my work has been exposing. Oh wow. But anyways, I only say this last little part, and because it coming all today on Tuesday, Martes, the day of Mars, being the 21st this month, all coming back to the Saturn, the connection in Saturn. But it really does go deep when you understand that Pi. We spoke about Pi today being 3 months and 14 days since the start of Rosh Hashanah. Well, we know Pi. When you just type in Pi, you're getting that same 11 that we're getting today when we type out today's date. When we get 3 months and 14 days since the start of the Jewish Hebrew New Year and the Shemitah. So again, undeniable connections. We got that same 11 in Giannis as we approach New Year's. So undeniable, you guys. When we write out December 21st, 2020, we got that 77 that we were getting when we tied you into Christ and Judaism. So another reason why I was going there with that. Tuesday, we get that 23 in December 21st being Tuesday, Martes, the day of Mars. Well, just try writing out Tuesday and see what you get. Oh, but you get that 23, you guys. That 23 tying us into December 21st, 2021, today, Tuesday. Why is this important for you that's listening? Because it's life, you guys. That same 23 we get in life. Okay? Just very powerful. If you're listening to this, then you're alive. All of this ultimately, though, tying back into the moon, you guys, giving us that same 15 and 51 that we've been getting, that 15 being a very powerful number that we've spoken about, that 23 tying us into life. The moon has to deal with the moon has a big part to deal with our life, and I'm telling you that 15 for the 51st week of the year, tying us into Saturn, you guys. We've spoken about Luna, breaking out into new all-time highs today. Why? Well, look at Luna, you guys. Type in Luna, giving you that the power of that 15 right now. All the energy going into that, giving you that 24. Okay? 24, the mirror 42 we got in Saturn. You know, in the year of Saturn, we're seeing this all today. You know, just very powerful connections. Again, did we type Mars out? Yeah, Mars, that 15 and 51. And again, XRP is breaking out, you guys. XRP giving us that same 15 today. The same 23. Tying us into the moon, you guys. Just undeniable connections. I truly don't think you can deny it, you know? Very powerful. Another thing I was thinking about is how tomorrow is an anagram date. Or, I'm sorry, a palindrome date. And that is 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. And that's leaving this 2 out, you know, just leaving this 21 in there. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. A mirrored date. Very powerful. I'm keeping an eye out on tomorrow. You know, this will be the palindrome right here. So tomorrow also giving us the 55 when we add this up, 12 plus 22 plus 21, you know, and leaving 9 days left in the year. Just very, very interesting. The 9 tying us into the sun. You know, we know when we type out sun, we get that 9. And that 9 coming back to Bitcoin with the ticker symbol BTC. So very powerful and something I'm interested in and seeing what happens. We know the 22nd of the month usually brings change. 22 usually brings reset. 22 usually brings recycle to the markets, you know. We tend to see you know, some interesting times, potentially trend reversals, whether that's up or down, we don't know, but the potential setups we tend to have and see around this time, which is something we're experiencing now, you know, it's just all very interesting with what we're seeing, especially with the price action being boring, bearish, and confusing. It's a good time for the markets to have a trend reversal when we see these boring, confusing consolidation periods. Again, whether that's up or down, I don't know. But again, this 9 connection tomorrow is something I'm thinking about with Bitcoin and the sun connections there. Again, tomorrow is Wednesday, miércoles, or the day of Mercury. You know, we know that Mercury connection giving us the 23, you guys. Very powerful. You know, that 103 being the 27th prime number, how that 27 is just continuing to plague our decodes. So just important right there. Yeah. This will again be, let's see what else. Yeah. We'll get 12 tomorrow, or the 22nd, when we type that out. You know, we get that 12. We know we're in the year of Saturn. Saturn gives us 21, the mirror of 12. And when we type out tomorrow's date, December 22nd, 2021, we're getting 3 21s. That 24 in the mirror of 42, Saturn 42, Jupiter's logo, you know, 42. So very powerful and important connections there tomorrow as well. Yeah. So moving into the 23rd will be the last day of Saturnalia, and you know, that hidden gem and important date revealed that I shared with you all on my page and in the Pioneer group chat about it being the 108th year anniversary of the creation of the Federal Reserve. And it also being, if we go back to the start of the Jewish Hebrew New Year, not the Shemitah on the 7th, but the start of the Jewish Hebrew New Year, day one, well, we see that it's exactly 108 days since the start of the Jewish Hebrew New Year. And this day will be the 108th anniversary of the creation of the Federal Reserve, which is not a part of the American government. It just says it is. Imagine that. But I'll behave. And I find that very powerful, those connections right there. And very, very important that we make those connections. And that day leaving 8 days left in the year. We know how important that number is. We know we're in the year of Saturn, and well, El is a term used for Saturn, and we know that gives us 8. So very important. But that 108 is also a number that ties us into spiritual completion for those of you that are, wanting to learn. Again, summing down to the 18 that we'll go over a little bit again in a minute, that expresses the importance of that number in Hebrew. But just very powerful connections right there with the Federal Reserve and the end of Saturnalia as we transition into New Year's Eve. Very powerful connections. I think that day giving us 77 in date numerology, leaving 7 days left in the year. We're in the year of sevens, and we're in the 77th year anniversary of the Bretton Woods Conference. We're in the Shemitah, a 7-year sabbatical cycle, and we're in the 7th 7-year sabbatical cycle. So, wow. Like, this is mind-blowing. I really do believe all of this, because we know that power equals 77. We know cash equals 77. Christ, as we spoke about in the beginning of the video, 77. We get some very interesting things like the Wizard of Oz and the Synagogue of Satan, Judaism, all giving us 77. So this very important date, Christmas Eve, that I'm watching out for. As we transition out of this day that had this very powerful 108 connection, this completion number connection. Just very powerful. And then again, of course, we got December 25th, Christmas, a day leaving 6 days left in the year. Man was made on the 6th day. Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just, definitely trying to expose the power of this. We also get that 15 on Christmas, and we get that 15 all week this year, in the 51st week of the year. And just the power and the reputation behind this number around everything we're witnessing on the world stage at that. I just don't think we can deny these connections here. And I've kind of been out here exposing this, and been one of the only people out here doing it the way I'm doing it on the world stage for about a year now. So, let's stay prepared for this. Coming up, this is the most ritualistic time of the year, and we know that. And anybody who studies finances and in the markets and gematria and numerology, and this December time frame transitioning into this new year is a time for massive distortion of the masses with their perception. And it's a time for fear to be pushed, I believe, right now in everything we've been witnessing over the last 2 years. And Could we see that happen to affect cryptocurrencies with these lockdowns and potential lockdown talks coming back? Uh, yeah, I think it's possible. But ultimately we're able to identify this stuff in advance because we have access to the code that we can utilize that, I've been teaching you. And it's like my mentor said, this code is like absolutely life changing when you can put it next to what's happening in the charts and what's happening in the world, and make sense of things for once. So it is really beautiful to see all this coming together, and I'm definitely very interested to see how this continues to play out throughout the rest of the year, especially with this date of the Federal Reserve, and it being the 108th anniversary year since its creation and inception, being 108 days since the start of Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish Hebrew New Year. So just very powerful connections right there. This 111 days from the start of Rosh Hashanah on the 27th of December is something I think is going to be big to watch out for as well. And I probably won't go too far ahead of myself tonight. But this being Friday, the day of Venus, being pretty powerful, I think. The day of Venus, being the 18 we get in Venus, coming back to the significance that I talk about, or the 81 and 18 we get in Venus, coming back to the significance of 18 that I talk about in Judaism, that I tell you guys to, go and do your research around. Hai, which is also known as life in Hebrew, it symbolizes 18. And you even get, when you type out CHAI, it even gives you 18, just like, Venus does. Just like Shemitah gives you the 18. Shemitah is something practiced in Judaism. And so I think that's very important. But I've spoken about this importance. And we spoke about how even they give gifts of money in multiples of 18. But this 18 being broken down, as I've told you all, about being the infinite connection of source, one being Jesus, the matrix body, what brings life. It has all to do with what brings light, because frequency is light, it is life. In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and that's literally speaking frequency into this existence. And, that is the one. I don't want to drag this out or make it about religion, because it's not, but, it doesn't matter. What, to each their own, whatever your beliefs are. But, just very powerful connections with this 18 that we're getting, on Friday, the day of Venus. So that's where that comes in. December 24th, as we transition out of Saturnalia on the birthday of the Federal Reserve. So, it's amazing, these connections. The 25th on Saturday, Saturn Day, you guys, giving us 42 in numerology when added up, 12 plus 25 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, tying us all back into Saturn in the year of Saturn on Saturn Day. Very powerful Christmas Day this year, especially for any of you decoders out there that know the truth behind this Roman pagan festival of a holiday that the world celebrates. Very, very interesting, leaving 6 days left in the year. Again, Saturn being the 6th planet from the sun, you guys. Very, very powerful connections. That 58, you guys, that we're getting on this day, December 25th. Well, I don't even have to make that connection, but we will. We'll go right there and make it with, well, it all ties back to the puppet master and remote control, you guys. Giving us the same 58. you know, Father Time, you know, the Tetragrammaton, very powerful, very, very powerful. Wow. What a journey we've already taken tonight, you guys. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me get a drink of my water. Look over my notes real quick. Make sure I haven't missed out on nothing. We spoke about the transition to Capricorn. It started today as boom. Today was our winter solstice. We did speak about that. Today's the day that tomorrow will start our days being longer and taking us out of the darkness as we slowly head towards the spring. So very important, powerful connections I think that we can make. So nights will be shorter and days will be longer. So defeating some of the darkness out there. I think we can make that a good sign. But today being Capricorn, the transition into Capricorn started today, and we know that that is the sea goat, which is the element of Earth, ruled by Saturn. Wow! And we know its fall is Jupiter. So very important time frame right here. Again, as we are in Saturnalia, the biggest ritualistic time of the year. And that was very interesting. As we typed out Capricorn, we get that 52, and it starts in the 51st week of the year, but it does follow in the 52nd week of the year. We'll be in Capricorn in the 52nd week of the year, and I think that's very powerful. The 12 zodiac cycle, which is really 13 zodiac cycle, the 13 being the dragon that we'll speak about possibly later. But this matters to us because we're on Earth. Earth giving us that 52, tying us in here to Capricorn, sorry. But Capricorn again being the Earth element, you guys, that's why that also plays into factor here, ruled by Saturn. Okay, so that matters. But this being called Makara, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but giving us that 18 we spoke about earlier. And I thought that was important again because we transitioned into Capricorn today, because 11 is what we got in today's date when we typed it in 12/21/2021. So it's like you can't really make this code up, because again, it calls Capricorn Makara in Vedic astrology. Sorry. And that same 117 we get in Makara, we get in Bitcoin, you guys, with that same 45. So it's like, the code is there, you guys. We just got to learn to utilize it. That 45 connection, that 117 connection. Hello. They know. Again, these millionaires and billionaires, maybe not millionaires, but these billionaires and trillionaires, they're not looking at the markets like these crypto kids are. And I'm here to show you a skill set and a mindset that we can utilize and make these powerful connections with. But yeah, people can sleep on it if they want to, but undeniable right here what we're getting, that 23 connection in Bitcoin, tying us into the sea goat, you guys, of Capricorn. I just think that's very powerful. I don't know. We'll have to see, what you think in the comment sections down below. Let me know what you see, you guys. Again, I encourage you all to come out and tell me what you see in these videos. I don't know it all. I don't have all the code. Let's build a community that can do this together and, hopefully crack the matrix. Build divergence. That's always been my goal, you guys. But I just thought that was very powerful. It all tied us back into my last video, and the circle of life, you guys. We talked about the Ouroboros. We talked about the Ouroboros at the beginning of the video, the life, death, rebirth ritual, the dragon eating its own tail. Very, very powerful, and it's known to be one of the most ancient symbols ever, first drawn in 1478, you know, is known to be one of the most ancient alchemical symbols there is. So I pay attention to that importance, and I've done a lot of research on it, and it's pretty interesting. And I highly suggest that you do. But we see it's written either way. That 1, 2, 3 that we get in mankind, or the number of man, that we get in Ouroboros. You guys, tying us into Saturn with that 42. But Ouroboros written out this way gives us the 105 or the 51 in the 51st week of the year. That's why I thought it was important to go ahead and come out and do part 2 of the circle of life, because all it is a time loop, you guys, with that same 105. A time loop that's tied to Saturn. We get that 39 in time loop that ties us into the mirror of 93. We get in Saturn, you guys. We can't make this up. Ouroboros, I believe, being the dragon. And that's powerful, because that's that same 36 we get in Ouroboros, okay? That same 47 in Circle of Life that we get in the dragon. That 52 in Circle of Life. We know there's 52 weeks in the year. You can't make that up. Circle of Life is a perfect circle when you realize what it is, you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's pi. It's Ouroboros. Okay? It's Saturn, Moon, Sun, Earth, life, death, rebirth. Okay? Very powerful, that 150, tying us into the same 15 we get when we drop the 0 using the laws of numerology. So 15 we get in life, death, rebirth, time loop, Ouroboros, all in the 51st week of the year. We know we get that 51 in Moon, which is Isis, giving us that same 52. The 8 that we get in Ale, Saturn, you guys, and Capricorn. This code is undeniable when you really learn to utilize it. That 69, we know we got that 69 in reincarnation, which is what this entire life, death, rebirth ritual is all about, I believe. This entire Ouroboros, perfect circle, pi, this time loop. It's just about our reincarnation. I truly believe, and to each their own, and you can say what you mean, but don't say it mean. But tell me what you see in the decode down below, in the comment section. I mean, we make these connections every single day. I'm just saying. But it's undeniable, the connections. That's all I'm saying. But I think we've we went over enough of the upcoming dates and the potential of the volatility we could see in them. We can come back out and talk about some of them on some of those dates. We know the 22nd of each month is very powerful, and the 23rd could be powerful, being the connections we made there tonight. So probably gonna boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Take a second to just continue to look over my notes right here. And yeah, we went over everything. The circle of life, pi, Ouroboros, the winter solstice, Capricorn. We touched base on the markets and the decodes for today. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get straight into the technical analysis, you guys. Oh wow, $91 for Luna, the moon. Just pumping, you guys. This totally is definitely entering a blow off top. Something just like we saw Solana do, you guys. Break out, come back, boom. That's not what Luna's done yet. Well, I mean, really, I guess you could say it has. Um, we could see this fall and retest and hit the 4.236 and just collapse from here. It's up 40,000% since last year. So this is just absurd, to be quite frank. So congratulations to anybody holding Luna. Not financial advice, but if I was holding it, I'm exiting it. That's just me. I don't care if this ain't the top. Smart money takes their money when given, and this is euphoria, thrill. Definitely entering that. Again, when you zoom out, this looks like a blow off top, you guys. Let's just real quickly go right here. Boom. You up 43,000%, and you're gonna bitch if you didn't sell the top and it only goes up a little bit higher. Like, what are you bitching about 60% for? You know, especially if you got in last year. You know, this is absurd. Um, Crazy, very ritualistic, I think. But yeah, we'll take a look at Bitcoin and we'll start from there, you guys. You know, we had Bitcoin chopping around a lot today, and obviously it broke out a little bit. Had that little breakout that I spoke about, that false breakout of the 382 of our dead cat bounce that we have drawn right here. Definitely want to start with the shorter time frames tonight on the 4-hour time frame and talk about this pattern breakout that you know, we've had, that we're seeing. And this pattern breakout is going to come inside this falling symmetrical triangle that I've well, I don't want that extended. It's going to come right here inside of this falling symmetrical triangle that I've had drawn on the screen for the past several videos. And this pattern breakout, you know, it's nothing superb, but definitely keeping an eye on it. But it's a clear pattern that we could see we were drawing here, where we had clear lower highs forming with clear lower lows as well, with 5 touches or so against this trend line with a breakout, you know. So very important. We see this could be the only back test of this support line that we're seeing right here, or what was a resistance. We could break back below, but we could see what happens. But definitely starting to trade around this range we were starting to build briefly right after our 7-minute dump back on December 5th, you know, or December 4th, I mean. So just something to keep an eye on. Trend lines don't always work, but there's something you can keep on your chart just in case. You know, you want to prioritize things around the MACD, moving averages, RSI, the fibs, etc. You know, I'm not really a pattern drawer, but I want to throw that. It was clear that we had that breakout of a downward price action right there. So, you know, trend is most important, and that's something we identify through price action itself. You know, higher lows and higher highs, or higher lows and higher highs, etc. You know, or Wyckoff method. I think it's tried and true in my way of looking at the markets, because it dates back even to when stocks were on papers, and you know, I think it's a great way to look at the markets. You know, even the most volatile asset that exists, Bitcoin and crypto. So something we were keeping an eye out right there on the 4-hour time frame. And you know, we're just continuing to see if we break out of this symmetrical triangle. We'll hide the moon phases so we can see. You know, we're about there, right there at that 382 of our dead cat bounce. We know we're cautious around this 0.5 to 888. Anything around here, without setting a new higher high, ultimately above 60K, we're definitely bearish. And then anything before then is a bull trap. Remember that. So closes above this 382, at least on the 4-hour charts, and closes on the 4-hour chart of the 382, and this top side of our falling symmetrical triangle will show me solidification of a potential reversal. And all a reversal is the opposite of a structure that we were previously doing before. And that's, we had a low, a lower low, a lower low, and now we have a higher low. But we can't confirm that until we get a higher high in the structure. Okay? So we have a high, lower high, and slightly lower high. So we're coiled up right now, and we need clarity and resolution. Okay? We could say regulations, but I'll behave. But this low right here is an official higher low, and we could have somewhat of a trend reversal. But if we get up here to somewhere around 50K, 51, 52K, and we get rejected, we could bounce around to 47K, and then start to see multiple higher lows, which would be something very bullish to keep an eye out for. That would be bullish to see that. But in the opposite, if we were to get rejected right here and come down and not hold support and make a lower low, then we're still in a noticeable downtrend. Okay, and I hope I didn't confuse anybody, but you can rewind the last couple minutes and listen to that slowly, and understand that this is kind of bullish. But at the same time, we're just being chill, letting this week play out. We know we got a 3-day weekend coming up in the stock market. Crypto is going to be the only game in town. That's bullish for us, but we don't know what's going to happen until come next Monday and the transition into the new year. We've been seeing red in the market randomly, and that's coming around the holidays, a normal time to see that. And tax law harvesting, and people that purposely take losses to offset taxes. This is the time of the year we tend to see these things in the markets. And I don't know. That's something I want to bring up. Very important. This 4-hour time frame is showing us a clear W pattern breakout. And that's something important to keep an eye out for. But boom, W pattern breakout. Very bullish right there. We'll change the color on that so we can see it better to gold. But yeah, that's a bullish pattern, you guys, that we can keep an eye out for. But yeah, this would be a bullish breakout eventually after back testing the neckline, which is about 48,200, 48,000 even, I guess, for being conservative. But if we get that, or even if this was our confirmed back test right here, we'll know for certain if we get a higher high in the structure. But once 49,500 is broken, 49.6, then we'll know for sure that that was probably the back test. But definitely gonna take a measurement of our neckline down to our lows and move it up here, and that's gonna take us right there around 51K. If we were to see that W pattern breakout on the 4-hour chart hold true and take us above our 382 and take us above our fallen symmetrical triangle. Dude, we're in the 51st week of the year, you guys. You can't make this shit up. I mean, this market is ran on an algorithm, and we expose this on this channel time and time again, especially if we were to see this come into fruition, over the next few days, especially as we transition into the, the 52nd week of the year. And that's when we start to see Bitcoin break 52K again. I mean, you guys, you tell me what you see. I mean, very bullish. let's go look at the weekly, you guys, and see what we got on the weekly time frame for a minute. Definitely look like we're still in a downtrend, and that is clear as day to me. We had a clear rejection of the 382 right now. Again, it's the second day of the week, though, you guys. We got plenty of time left, but we got a lot of time for potential downside to come into the factor too. So remember that. But we still want to break out of this fallen symmetrical triangle, and we're still in this dead cat bounce. So definitely got to get back above 60K overall in the short / medium term. So boom. All right, let's pull up our exponential moving averages. Okay, so we're still battling that 34 exponential moving average on the weekly time frame, and you know that's around 48,000. I'd say 500. So to stay closing daily candles above 48.5. We're right there right now. We closed yesterday at above 48.5 at 48.7. I believe is what it was. So to see those multiple closes right there, battling that 34, that'd be healthy. We definitely want to maintain that 34. Oh, well, we're actually right above it. I might have said a minute ago that we were battling it, but we're definitely holding support of that 34, but we ultimately want to reclaim that 21 exponential moving average on the daily, which is right there around 51K. We've spoken about this. Bam! The power of that around that 0.5 Fibonacci from our dead cat bounce. So again, ultimately a cautious level where bull traps can happen. If it was a stock, I might not be so worried, but crypto's highly volatile. So we pay attention to that. So that 21 exponential moving average on the weekly time frame at 51K is what we want to get above. Ideally, we definitely want to see a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly, breaking the 382 and our top side of the fallen symmetrical triangle by the end of this week, by this next Sunday. Definitely would like to see that bullish engulfing by the end of the week. Don't want to see it be a bearish engulfing, that's for sure. Then we could, potentially come play around down here some more around 46K, 44, 42K that we've called for. Definitely would want to see it hold 45K if that were to play out by, the end of next week. So again, still being a long, short term, medium term game here. Nothing's going to happen in an hour or a day, you guys. Oh, yeah, I think we'll go to the daily time frame real quick and look at that for Bitcoin. See, our W pattern breakout was right there. Slide that down, you guys. Just to remind ourselves. Again, this bullish energy coming in, all starting on the full moon, you guys, December 18th. So, very bullish. Our December 18th full moon for this year. So, definitely keeping an eye on the 3 to 5 day window after the full moon. So, that being the 23rd too, you guys, being the 5th day after the full moon. So watching that, if we don't break out above this before the 23rd, then I'd be ready to see the 23rd or the 22nd tomorrow, possibly giving us a Twin Towers pattern with, all this just being liquidated right back down to the 236 around 46. I think it's possible. We've seen it happen before. So, it's something to keep an eye out for. Especially with the important factors that we've talked about. The 22nd of the month being a big day, and the 23rd being last day of Saturnalia and the Federal Reserve's birthday. I don't know. Call me weird, but I think there's some importance there. But we're starting to see some things happening. We see this 200 exponential moving average. That's important for one. And where is that at, you guys? It's at that psychological 50K range. That 21 exponential moving average is right there with it. It's barely below it, but that's what we're ultimately trying to reclaim. Again, Bitcoin has a 21 million supply. The winter solstice came on the 21st, giving us this energy towards that. Okay, you guys, in the year of 2021, which is the 21st century, is the 21st year in the 21st century being the year of Saturn, all giving us 21. So this is that 21 that we're probably about to see. You know, definitely don't want to see a rejection from it, that's for sure. Not saying sell if we do. I'm just saying don't want to see it. It'd be bearish to see that. It's important to get above that. Both of those. Boom, that 34. Again, right there at 51K on the daily time frame. That 55 exponential movement average at 53. So right there at 52.9. So very powerful. That was our regression trend line that, we definitely want to get back above that 618. So, we have closed above our 13 exponential movement average. So that's the first time since, when? The 15th of November? Yeah, anyways, it's been a few days. But, yeah, since we sold off back here, it's very important. This is our closure highs going all the way back to here, our previous closure highs. So, definitely want to stay closing above this 13 and get just, chop our way up here. It's probably going to be choppy, over the next few days. And we need to definitely pay attention. Look how choppy it's been lately. Probably going to continue to be pretty choppy, you guys. So don't get fudded out over any news we hear. Or even if we continue to set that lower low at, well, not lower low, but, that low at 42, 44K that I've spoken about, and put out there. Definitely want to pay attention to just the global market and the economy and everything going on right now. Any announcements being made, especially by the Fed on the 23rd, or tomorrow. We could see these markets take a shit if we see something crazy announced. They've been pushing for crypto regulations lately, so just all important things that we need to pay attention to. Ultimately, and the point I'm making is they want you to sell, whether it's out of fear or if they pump this thing to God knows what. They want you to sell. Okay? They want your crypto. It's not meant for you. It's meant for the machines, and I've expressed this and told you guys this. But, blah, 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 So, getting back on track here, it would be great to see, just closures above 50K, that psychological range, that 51K, these EMAs. So, to see that in the 51st week, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's possible. But yeah, ultimately 60K is something that will get me bearish, and then we'll be worrying about when's our bull trap. So, boom. Yeah, just looking at everything, you guys. Let's look at the MACD and the RSI real quick. RSI sitting at 44. We're still in December. December equals 44. That's powerful. You know, definitely working on you know, hopefully getting up out of these over consolidated, oversold territories. You know, hopefully we can work our way back up towards that 70, that 80. You know, slowly. You know, we'd rather it be sideways and up where that's healthy for the altcoins. You know, when Bitcoin rips the upside, it steals a lot of dominance, and you know, altcoins tend to take a shit when that happens, and I don't want to see that. You know, but that's what happens when 40% of the entire cryptocurrency market cap is in one asset, Bitcoin. But yeah, keeping an eye on that. Boom, the MACD. We got bullish cross on the MACD. Bullish, 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 bullish. We've been waiting on that, you guys, for quite some time, and I did come out in one of my last videos and talk about how that was a 56-day time period approaching, and guess what? Well, I'll be down. 56 days till we get our first green candle again. The power of that 56, we know BTC in the Bitcoin ticker, it gave us that 56. So again, just very powerful connections there that we're able to utilize and make, to our adjustments and bias in the code with the markets and technical analysis. So yeah, that connection there on the MACD, 56 days, very bullish. But the Bollinger Bands, they're starting to shrink. They were widening there for several days. So that's definitely important. So again, that 200 exponential, we'd love to get above. Boom. Now let's get ready to go into XRP. Oh, we didn't talk about the 200 exponential or the 200 simple moving average. We're back above that 200 simple as of the winter solstice today, and we're battling that 21 simple moving average. So we need to reclaim that simple 21 simple moving average, you guys. We definitely want to see it hold support of this 200 and bounce off of it. And if it does go below it and bring us down, we definitely want to see it come back above this 200 simple moving average for a bullish cross towards the upside. This 21, we see this 21 doesn't tend to hang out below this 200 very long, you guys. Now this was a long drawn out period, but it ultimately went back to the upside after about 80 days. So I have to continue to keep an eye out on these potential crosses or bounces right here on these simple moving averages. So again, is this just a bear trap happening right here before we see rejection below? Set a small low right here. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out with this. I don't know. But yeah, probably gonna get into XRP and get this video done, you guys. Boom, bullish. What? Houston breaking the firmament at the 200 simple moving average. We reclaimed the 21 simple moving average on the daily for XRP. This is bullish. This is bullish. We broke 86 cent on Launchpad Theory. We've done nothing but climb up since. We hit a high of 96. Why is that important? Well, it's the mirror of 69. We're in the year of Saturn. The 96 and the 69 is the yin and the yang, ladies and gentlemen. Why is this important? Because we didn't see none of this. Nada. Any of it. Until 14 days. Boom. December 18th. The full moon. You guys bringing this energy to the markets, and we see that 14 days, and we know we get that connection in XRP and 14. Like, I'm definitely watching tomorrow, the 22nd. You know, there's that 15, the power of that 15 this week in the 51st week of the year. Just these powerful connections that we're seeing off the rip. And that's why XRP hit 96 cents. To go reclaim that 200, simple, I do believe. So very bullish off the rip seeing this. Let's look at these other exponential moving averages. And hey, we were just underneath the 8, which was in full bearish posture. Okay, now I'm not getting too excited and I'm not pushing any hopium, you know, and hype, but you know, this is good to see, you guys. We want to see multiple daily closes above all of these and holding support above this 200 exponential moving average. You know, we're getting stopped out on both of those right now, the 55 and the 200. So definitely want to see us reclaim those, you know, battle those for a moment and not get excuse me, and not get rejected right here. But you know, to hold multiple daily closes above this 34 will be very bullish for me. And then to eventually see this 13 excuse me, this 13 cross that 34 with that 8, and then that all three of these cross that 55 and that 200. Hey, we be in a game, you guys. Pioneers will be going to, you know, new all-time highs for XRP if we'll do that. You know, let's continue to hold this price action and hold this support right here. You know, we're in some muddy waters that I've spoken about. So, you know, got that 14-day connection in there talked about. We'll throw that out. You know, we've broken out of our firmament, you guys. So that's very important. We've been able to reclaim. Oh man, we've been able to reclaim this, you know, upward price trend and action we were forming and get back above that. So let's close that, you know, and continue to see how this plays out for us. Boom, you know, so boom, let's see where that takes us. Back to that 105, you know, that 105 trading range we had. You know, if we can get to the top side of this trading range, this upward price action that we were forming on smaller time frames, really, which is why I had this drawn out. So very bullish, you guys. We know we're hanging out right now around right above the 618 of our dead cat bounce, but I'm going to kind of show you guys why I pull my dead cat bounces from right here, you know, and show you about this potential dollar psychological, you know, sell-off range we could see approaching. You know, this is the red hot zone where things tend to get hot and red. We know our clear price action and resistance came in around this $1.10 range, you know, $1.11 that I told you for months would play a key factor into moving forward, and it has. So, you know, that 111 that we got to reclaim. But this psychological dollar range for XRP could come into a potential bull trap scenario for us right here around this holiday season. And I just wanted to bring that up as we approach the next few days, tomorrow being the 22nd day of December, and we know XRP equals 22. Change, reset, recycle, all equals 22. So, you know, Monday equals 22, you guys. Just very powerful connections. You know, all tying us back to the Jesuits, 22. As we approach the 22nd year of the 21st century, and we just entered the Jewish Hebrew New Year 5782. All giving us 22, you guys. So again, you know, there's these powerful connections that we're able to utilize in our work. Our regression trend, you know, we can just about pull it off the charts now, you guys. We've done broke through the top side of the regression trend. That's bullish. You know, I'm about ready to get that thing off my charts for real. But yeah, you know, we're still keeping an eye on some things. We had our dead cat bounce pulled up. Let's pull up our, you know, bearish retrace pull. Boom, and see where we're at. Boom. Actually, something didn't look right to me earlier. This is our bearish retrace pool, you guys. So, we've been working on climbing up that. This is our dead cat bounce. So I didn't mean to confuse those two. But either way, I know you can barely see those numbers, but we're right there. And I'll do it like this. But we're right there at the 618 still of the dead cat bounce. So when I reclaim that golden pocket right here at 96 cents, you guys, where we're seeing these moving averages of the 255, running at 96, where we saw our rejection at 96 cents. So I'm going to keep an eye out on this golden pocket range of our dead cat bounce that we've got pulled up right here. So very important. Ultimately, just want to close above $1. Look at this. Look at the cleaner chart. Boom. We were in this grandiose and massive structure right here with XRP. And I was looking at that with this obvious downtrend, with the breakout of this structure. And, if we go to the smaller time frames, we see we had a clear almost back test of this and nothing but price action upwards. If we can start closing above 96 cents, that would just about show me a clear trend reversal, you guys. Definitely, yeah, a clear back test of this, you guys. Just break out of the firmament like boom. NASA wishes they could do this, you guys. I'll behave. But clear back test of the firmament. We even came back and played with them because we know NASA can't do it. Anyways, and just all this would show me that we bottomed out if Bitcoin holds these levels that it's at right now. But if it breaks, the first place I expect XRP to come back down to will be 82 cents, 80 cents. The 618. This previous structure of what I'm calling support being built right here. But we see clear resistance at times as well being built right here at this 80 cents. Ultimately how things go leading into the first week of the new year, I would start paying attention the most around these things. But around these ritualistic manipulation times, it's not worth getting in our feelings, and it's definitely, we got to remember to keep our emotions on the sideline. But with XRP and Luna, HBAR and XDC pumping, it's definitely, look at HBAR, 33 cents. So scripted, you guys. Don't even make me pull the numbers out on that. But just, it's definitely got to pay attention right now. We're reaching some red hot levels for some of these coins. Not that's a bad thing or nothing, because we're seeing clear V-bottom recoveries up out of this structure, which are automatic rallies that usually are followed by a backup and a selling climax and a backup period. Just remember that. That's just building structure though, you guys. Ranging up out of this, I do believe. So we got to continue to see what happens. We're still looking for that shift in dominance for XRP, and that's typically when we start to anticipate the end of a cycle. And that's something I'm watching out for as well. Definitely very important. We saw that iconically in the past two bull runs in the bull run. So, I'd rather see this being boring and bloody and shaking people out, and retail getting frustrated and for a little bit longer, especially until after the first of the year. For tax implications for me, not financial advice, but I can defer till 2023. And but yeah, one other thing I did want to bring up on Bitcoin was this damn Boris pattern. that I said I don't like to do, because, well, it's just plagiarism. And that's by taking this to where we've started our clear breakout from, and show you where that takes us to, you guys, and probably leave my video there. But that takes us to, well, I'll be damned, my 72K call for Bitcoin. You know, make sure I get that from the bottom of our green candle, like I had it earlier. So if we take that from our last touch and our last green candle, it takes us to 72K. Right there at it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying it'd be really amazing to see that happen. You know, and follow our Mercury in retrograde period right here. You know, and match that. So that'd be pretty bullish, you guys. Follow this to match this structure right here that we see, you know, played out very similar to the Rosh Hashanah sell-off, you guys, and shakeout. You know, very, very powerful. I think we can pay attention to, you know. So 49.5 to 50K for Bitcoin, 51 in the 51st week of the year, or 52K as we head into the 52nd week of the year for Bitcoin, you guys. Keep an eye on that 42 and 44K, and anything under 39. XRP, hey, we're always watching for the downside for potential buying opportunities. Remember that for XRP, because we are a long-term holder. So remember that. But keep an eye on that 105 range, you guys, that we're looking to reclaim. Our training range that we were in between 123 and 105. XRP equaling 15 in the 51st week of the year. Would love to see us start closing back above that. And you know, downside targets are gonna be, you guys, roughly 69 cents. And you know, we're gonna shoot for 58 cents if we're, you know, lucky to see that. We definitely want to see that 51 cent hold that we saw back in, boom, you know, June and July. But you know, that 58 XRP equals 58, and you know, we'll leave those targets there. But with all that being said, you guys, we're going to sign out of this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, and God bless.